This year, a significant amount of Russian equipment has been destroyed. So right now, especially for you, we've prepared the juiciest explosions of Russian military hardware, showcasing their scale and spectacle as they turn armor into fragments. The special effects are provided by the armed forces of Ukraine, with drones, artillery, anti-tank systems, tanks, and minefields in the leading roles. Today, there won't be my global issues. Today, there will be Russia's global issues, the ones it created for itself when it started a war in a foreign country and sent its equipment here. For example, this BM-21 Grad multiple rocket launcher could have remained safely in storage, waiting for a moment of real danger to Russia to fulfill its purpose, defending the country. But they chose a different path, and now you can see it simply disappearing in an explosive cloud. Another MLRS and a Ukrainian drone. Only the frame remains, and the next system of the same type meets the same fate. Drones, like little bees, sting Russian armored vehicles one after another. Just watch these explosions. No words needed. Strike. The drone turns the tank into a steam engine. Another precise hit. And the powerful explosion sends the armor flying in all directions. Look, it has literally dismantled the tank into spare parts. Every day, throughout the year, relatively inexpensive drones destroy dozens of units of armored vehicles of various types. Each strike reduces the offensive potential of the Russians. Additional armor doesn't save the equipment, it just slightly increases the number of drones needed to destroy it. The myth of the invincibility of Russian tanks with additional armor was quickly dispelled by Ukrainian kamikaze drones. Another explosion of a turtle tank. The damaged T-72 tank was finished off by another drone. Now it burns out in the middle of the road. A single drone hits a vulnerable spot and destroys a Russian T-80 tank. This abandoned IFV is on fire, and in just a moment, it explodes with a powerful blast. This IFV didn't escape from the drone. In most cases, the tank's turret is blown off, or the vehicle shatters into pieces, scattering debris across dozens, sometimes even hundreds of meters. The tank is literally torn to shreds, with its turret catapulted into the stratosphere. Fuel and ammunition create explosions of unprecedented scale, turning the equipment into debris. It's simply incredible how a small drone can dismantle a nearly 50-ton machine into spare parts. By the way, show your support with a like for the creativity of Ukrainian forces, who deliver these cumulative pre-holiday gifts. So, let's move on and enjoy another series of spectacular explosions. The infantry abandoned their equipment, but there were still plenty of munitions inside. Another drone strike. And another one. The next tank was literally packed to the brim with explosives. The scale of this explosion is simply breathtaking. Let's take a look at how Russian equipment detonates on mines, one of the most lethal types of weaponry. They lie in wait, round the clock, silently biding their time to turn enemy vehicles into debris. Mines break the momentum of the offensive, destroying entire columns. Mine clearance rollers prove powerless against such minefields. This Russian tank likely set a record for hitting such a large number of mines at once. One mine, another, and yet another. While the mine clearance roller worked effectively, the sheer number of mines makes a difference. One by one, the mines detonate in front of the vehicle, yet surprisingly, it continues to move forward. After a series of mine strikes, the last one finally halts the vehicle, which is later destroyed by drones. Even mine-clearing rollers installed on tanks can't save them from the dense Ukrainian minefields. And as for the vehicles moving without them, just take a look at what happens. A column of 3 vehicles moves along a mined road. The first explosion. Another vehicle destroyed. Whether it's a field or urban development, mines activate the same way everywhere. The Russians are charging head-on, disregarding both people and equipment, which is being destroyed on an industrial scale. Such colossal losses have likely not been seen since World War II. The Russian military industry simply cannot keep up with repairing and producing new vehicles, and the warehouses are becoming emptier by the day. Take another look at this massive detonation and the tank's turret soaring above the fireball. Here are a few more field explosions of IFVs. In some cases, the Russians are aware that the area is mined. But despite this, they follow orders and, against all logic, deliberately detonate on the mines. For example, like these 2 infantry fighting vehicles. This failed assault involving armored vehicles could be called group destruction on mines. One vehicle is detonated, but that doesn't stop the other, which almost instantly meets the same fate. This Russian IFV is moving straight down the road. These 2 armored vehicles also decided to check the road along the tree line for mines. A few dozen meters later, it blows up another armored vehicle. this tank and the IFV behind it as well. The next tank decided to carve a new path, but luck was not on its side. Mines in an open field are a real lottery. Even if the crew decides to retreat, they fall into a trap where every movement could be their last. In most cases, this rule holds true. The equipment doesn't make it back, staying stranded in the minefield with no chance of evacuation. The tank assumed the road was mined and the field was clear. It made the same mistake and detonated. The next one was also destroyed. Even as the Russians claim, their tank, which has no analogs in the world, couldn't withstand the test. Nothing remains of lightly armored Russian equipment, especially when it's filled with munitions. The explosion flipped the vehicle, and the metal frame left behind is burning out in the field. Many vehicles meet their end either in open fields or on paved roads. Mines don't care whether there's asphalt or soil beneath them. They are equally destructive in any conditions. Another Russian APC exploded into small pieces. Drones take to the skies and relentlessly begin destroying enemy equipment. The tank was advancing through the streets of a destroyed village, but not for long. This infantry fighting vehicle required several drones to be taken out. This APC hit a mine and was immediately finished off by a kamikaze drone. An explosion of this magnitude likely melted the metal, leaving it scattered across the ground. The drone once again blows off the turret, tossing it to the side of the road. Subsequent detonation and explosions leave the vehicle with no chance of recovery. Another vehicle burns to the ground. A small Ukrainian drone caused it to turn into blackened metal. The drone causes the vehicle to catch fire, leading to its total destruction after a while. No matter how hard you try, there's no escaping an FPV drone. Near the forest, a disabled tank smolders, and moments later, it erupts into a fiery column of flames. Another IFV is engulfed in flames, and moments later, it explodes with such force that its cannon is torn away. The remnants of ammunition continue to burn, occasionally detonating. The Ukrainian tank destroys the Russian tank with additional armor, known as the turtle tank. A shot from the javelin, and this Russian tank had no chance. The Ukrainian tank literally fires point blank at the Russian one, giving it no chance to escape. Here's another situation where a Ukrainian tank finishes off a damaged and abandoned Russian tank with several precise shots. Another shot and the equipment is destroyed. This tank is completely destroyed. For some unknown reason, the Russian IFV is charging towards a fully loaded and battle-ready Ukrainian tank. Another head-on collision between two Ukrainian tanks and a Russian IFV. With another shot, the tank behind pierces the armor through and through, completely destroying the vehicle. An abandoned vehicle loaded with ammunition. Air defense systems are hard to reach and highly sought-after targets, so it's not always possible to document their destruction with such quality. Another air defense system, and a spectacular detonation. The explosion was so powerful that it formed a mushroom cloud. The explosion of the next system is equally impressive, resembling a volcanic eruption. Another SA-11 Gadfly air defense system carelessly placed in the middle of an open field. HIMARS delivers a powerful salvo, destroying several more air defense systems, turning them into a festive fireworks display. A special gift for Putin, who could have been watching a very different show on Red Square had he not started the war.